Man, already day 20. Day 19, but technically day 20 of this 30-day experiment. I lost all my damn footage for day 18, so this is day 19 that you're watching here. But in terms of published material, this would be. I'm sorry, this is day 20. In terms of published material, this would be day 19. So let me see here. First week of December 2021, I was teaching a kettlebell certification in Dallas, and at the same time, there was a barbell cert going on, and that was being led by master instructor Jason Marshall. And at dinner, I want to say it was the first night. The first night we were having dinner, we went to Fogo de Chao. Amazing place. I can't believe Corpus Christi doesn't have one of these places. They need to step their game up. If you've never been to a Fogo de Chao or anything like that, it's basically meat heaven is the best way that I can explain it. But, perfect place for a deadlifter, right? So anyway, we were talking, and, naturally the conversation always shifts to, well, what does your training look like? What are you up to these days? What are you doing, right? And so at this time, I was training for Sinister. So I was doing a beta test for a program that we're working on called Path to Sinister. And Jason, he was like, man, well, pretty much I've been doing like strength aerobics with barbells. And so if you're not familiar with strength aerobics, it's something. It's an article that Pavel wrote about back in 2014, and I'll link the article in the description area. But what he does is he gives you an alternative to HIIT training, right? High intensity interval training, and he talks about strength aerobic circuits for conditioning. He gives you a couple of examples. One way to do it, the most popular way, is to do it with the kettlebell, right? So the example he gives in the article is like, a one-handed clean, and then a press, and then a front squat, and then you park, shake it off, and then you do the same thing on the other side, and then you'll repeat that for 10, 20, 30 minutes or so, right? However much time you have available, right? And so if you think about it, it's a strength-focused, like, endurance practice, really is what it is. And so Jason's been doing that with the barbell. And I want to say the exercises he shared with me was he's doing deadlift, bench press, and then the two-handed power swing. And when I say power swing, I'm not talking about like the dead stop, right? You swing, park, reset, swing. This is just maximum effort, max power, all the juice you got. And I think he was doing like sets of 10. And then I'm not sure the exact like programming he was using, but I believe he was using like a ladder style with the deadlift and the bench. So for instance, he would do, let's say, like a set of bench for a set of 3. Let's just say at like 70% of your max, and then a set of deadlifts for 3. Set it, with the percentage of max, and then a maximum effort set of 10 power swing with a fairly heavy bell, right? Pretty much the heaviest bell you got that you can powerfully swing for 10. And then he would just kind of repeat that until he would work through the ladder. So let's say it was like a 2, 3, 5 ladder on the bench in the deadlift, right? And he would just kind of work through that. And so it got me thinking, I'm, as of today of recording this video, let me check my phone here. I believe I am currently on day 11. I'm currently on day 11 of 75 hard, phase 1. So I've already completed the first 75 days, took a small break, and it was really, I kind of, looking back now, I shouldn't have taken a break because it's hard for me to get back on track. Anyway, I'm on phase 1. And again, I'm going to be creating a whole entire segment dedicated to kind of what I'm doing in terms of 75 hard with our principles of strength training. But one of the tasks, one of the requirements for 75 hard is to complete 2 45-minute workouts every single day. And one of those workouts has to be outside regardless of weather conditions. Okay. So my first workout, air quotes, is a walk outside, right? I get my day started with a 45. Sometimes it's usually about an hour, But lately, I've just had to get really strict with my time because I've just been crazy busy, lots of calls, lots of coaching at the gym and whatnot. So I've had to get like very protective and just very strategic with my time. So I'm like, you know what? I can't do beyond 45 minutes. Like those extra 15 minutes are just precious right now. And so I have a specific route that I put together in my neighborhood that it takes me exactly like 45 minutes and 30 seconds. And when I walk, I'm pushing the pace. Like I'm almost fast walking. Like I'm walking about 4 miles on average. I'm walking about 4 miles per hour. So a 15-minute mile. And that's pushing it. That's a really good pace. And so I'll knock it all out, right? It's like 2.8 miles or something like that. I'll knock out in those 45 minutes. So that's my first workout, right? And I really like those in the summertime here in South Texas. Man, it gets just freaking hot, and I'm working up a damn good sweat. And every now and then I would throw in like a little jog. Maybe I would jog for a quarter mile and then walk, and then jog for a quarter mile and then walk. But anywho, that's my first workout. And so my second workout is what you're seeing here, right? Whatever strength session that I've got planned. So right now we're going through this deadlifting. And so anyway, my whole, where this kind of all comes together is based on, I remember my conversation with Jason. I was like, well, you know what? Like my deadlift sessions only take me like maybe 25 minutes tops. I'm like, what am I going to do to fill the gap of that additional 20 minutes? I don't want to just randomly make up stuff. Like, I don't know. I'm a big believer in being on a program, right? Having something structured to follow. And so I was like, you know what I'm going to do? Because I don't want to overdo it, because I've already overtrained one time in the beginning of this series, and I don't want to do it again. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to practice my skills, right? So we've got our 9 core skills, right? So we've got the deep 6, right? Actually, I break them up a little bit differently. I call them the power 5. So I believe the power 5 that's your swing, one swing and one arm swing. Then you've got your get up, then your clean, your press, and your squat, right? I believe that's the power 5. That's kind of how I break them down. Snatch, I leave that for just like higher end skill, because it is a higher end skill, right? And then your higher end skills, we get into like you got snatch, push, press, jerk, windmill, right? And so I was like, you know what I'm gonna do for the other 20 minutes? I'm gonna do a circuit. Okay, I'm gonna do a circuit where I'm working on clean and press, right? I'm gonna pick a skill. And so, for instance, since I'm doing this every day, so like let's say Monday, I'd work on a swing, right? Either 2-hand or 1-arm swing, right? And then Tuesday, clean, so on and so forth. But today was like my first day of kind of experimenting. So like, you know what? I'm going to run a strength aerobic fashion-esque, however you want to call it, session, right? So I'm going to work set of deadlifts. Then after that, I'm going to work on some power swings, so maximum effort swings. And then I'm going to hit clean and press. Oh, I'm sorry, clean and just military press. No, not clean and press, just military press, right? So that's kind of what I'm doing here, right? And I'm going light, like this 24 kilo bell. I'm not really trying to push myself too hard because I want to reserve the majority of that juice for the barbell. And right now, the barbell is going really, really, really well, and I don't want to screw anything up. Like, it's insane how quick I'm pulling the bar again. I'm getting the weights to break off the floor again with 200 kilos. I haven't done that in a long time. And everything's just feeling great. And so I'm just really focused on maintaining like my connection. I'm working on my setup. I'm working on actively pulling that bell down into the rack position. And just really being intentional about what I'm doing, right? That's pretty much my primary focus with this little strength circuit. And I believe I'm keeping my presses to about 5. I'm keeping my swings to 10. And then whatever I've got set up for the deadlift. And I tell you what, man, I mean, my elbow just sucks like so bad. You'll see me shaking out my elbow. I've injured that left elbow like so many times. Like it's all from jiu-jitsu, just getting caught in weird positions and little tweaks. And I think I'm gonna have to seek out like some kind of, I don't know, musculoskeletal professional or something, because it's not getting better. If anything, I feel like it's getting a little bit worse. Like it's hard to rack the bell. Like it takes several sets of me doing like some cleans or just holding the bell in the rack position. But yeah, that's it. And what sucks is it limits me in my strength, specifically with the grind movements, like a press, right, coming down from the rack position. And so, word of the wise, take care of your injuries, right? So it's another reason why I was just going really light. 24 kilo, it doesn't really bother me too much. But when I get up into that 32 area, it just kind of sucks. And so here I got a set of power swings. My focus here is just kind of like maximum effort, right? Really focusing on dialing in my breathing. And this is one of my fancy new big bells. I believe that was a 56 kilo bell. But what do I got here? I think here these are my first. I think this is 180. Man, I remember when 180 kilos was like near my maximum. I remember when I told you when I first started this series, I could barely pull 405. I pulled it once at the certification, and then I just really couldn't pull it after that. But here I am. Just crushing a set of 180 kilos, just like with ease. I mean, they're fast, they're quick off the ground, and it's just crazy when you look back, right, at where you got started, which is another reason I talked about this in a couple episodes back. The 3 truth tellers, right? The 3 truth tellers, and one of them is your training log. Right? One of them is your training log. And so it's always good to reflect on that so that way you know like how far you've come, And so if you're not keeping a training log, if you're not tracking what you're eating, if you're not tracking what you're doing, you have no idea if you're making progress, right? You can't look back and reference what's working, what's not working, right? How to make pivots, how to make adjustments, that kind of deal. So next set coming up, I believe this is 198 kilos. So this is about 200 kilos here. And I believe I've got it scheduled for a double. So this is what I pulled the other day. I was able to, I just crushed it and breaking the ground with that. Maybe it's a future episode. Anywho, can't recall. But I got 198 kilos here. And which is like 436, and I got that for a double. So this is going to be, I'm getting ready to come to the end of my first full, like pretty much coming to the end of the first full month, right? So day 20, and then I got 2 more days, and then a technical day. And then after that technical day, I will have completed the first month, almost the first 4 weeks, if you will, of the training. And I'm gonna push this and see like how far I can go. So pretty much I've done about, by the end of this first like go through, I've pretty much done about 400 lifts, 400 deadlifts. That's kind of insane. That's a lot of deadlifts to be pulling. But since I'm spreading it out over all the days, I'm able to manage. Especially, I'm so glad that I shifted to the variability. So glad I shifted to varying. Here's that 198. Pretty solid. Wedge is good. Getting everything to move well. I want to say, it's in a couple of days from now. I've got some footage of where I'm able to break the ground again with 198 or 200 kilos, I believe it was. Anywho, man, just kind of rambling on right now. But that's what I wanted to share today. Strength aerobics. In case you're curious why I'm kind of integrating some of these things now. Quite honestly, it's just because I'm in the middle of 75 hard. I'm on day 11 as of making this video. I'm just trying to fill the gaps, but I'm also trying not to just make things up and just doing random things for the sake of random things. So I'm all about structure. And so I'll end up coming up with a framework of like how I'm going to integrate like practicing my skills with the deadlift. But right now I'm just kind of running it like a strength aerobic. Set of swings, working on clean and press, and then deadlift. And then next session, I'll probably work on like double clean. And as of right now, I've been like kind of sandwiching them in between deadlifts. I'll see how that turns out, if that affects me in a positive or in a negative way. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And so I'll do that. And then usually by right around when I'm done with the deadlifts, however much time I have, I just kind of keep, if I finish all the lifts, like today was super easy. Today I only had 3 pulls, right? Today I had 157 for 4, I had 180 for 4, and then I had 198 for 2, which 198 was pretty smooth. That was it. Only had 3 pulls. And so the rest of the time, I just worked on those skills: swing, clean and press, and then finished off with a little bit of mobility stuff, and then pretty much called it a day. But that's it, man. Appreciate you watching. Got questions? If you're curious about 75 hard, if you're curious about any of that other stuff, drop me a comment below. Let me know. Maybe I can point you in the right direction. And I'll also include the article to the Strength Aerobics on the Strong First website. All right, man. That's all I got. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.